Nam yo ho ning ge cho 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 nam yo ho ning ge.
Hi, I'm Margaret, and this is the website where we apply Buddhist philosophy and practice to the problems of everyday life. And today we're going to be talking about human revolution. In order to have everybody on the same page, I'm going to just define what human revolution is, and then we'll discuss ways you might be blocking yourself from moving forward, and finally, how to take the steps to expand your life. Human revolution is a never-ending process of continual self-improvement, a Buddhist way of life that eternally seeks growth and personal development. This fundamental change comes only from transforming our innermost weaknesses into deeply rooted strengths. Now, this comes from the SGI USA website in Study on the menu. This might mean that a troublemaker begins to help others and become an asset to the community, or a person who can't make decisions and is lost and wandering in life learns to challenge that trait and start to move forward to finding purpose in life. There are thousands of ways that each of us can improve. If we succeed in challenging ourselves on a fundamental level, we can change from someone who's buffeted about by the environment or the people around them to someone who can positively influence their situation and surroundings. And that is a quote from the World Tribune, April 2016. As Jose Toda, the second SGI president, says, quote, "The end goal of human revolution is to realize a state of eternal happiness. This existence is fleeting as a dream. We practice faith to awaken from this dream and firmly establish a state of eternal happiness. This is what it means to attain Buddhahood in this lifetime." It all sounds just wonderful, but how do you do it? Well, you begin by looking at your life. Is your life working or not working? Are you satisfied with some areas but dissatisfied with others? Your human revolution is going to come about through addressing the concerns you have in everyday life and growing in ways to deal with them more effectively. The first thing we all have to realize is that what you see right now in your life is the results of causes through thoughts, things you've said, and actions you've taken in the past. According to the law of the simultaneity of cause and effect, when you make such a cause, the future effect is simultaneously planted in your life to manifest when the time is right. So in order to achieve different results, you're going to have to make different causes. According to the Buddhist concept of oneness of self and its environment, the circumstances of our lives arise from inside of us to manifest in the outer world. If you're deadlocked or not producing results, you may have gotten off track without even realizing it. So how do we get back on track? Awareness is the first step. To begin, we need to become aware of how we might be blocking ourselves. And this is subtle. It might be hard to recognize without help from other practitioners. One way is to go to meetings. In any given meeting, some people are going to have a strong practice, while another might be wavering. Hearing how a strong practitioner is chanting about an experience or hearing a piece of information in a presentation might help you be aware of where you're blocking yourself. For example, maybe you hear an experience where someone challenged a problem, and you became aware that you tend to back off due to fears rather than press ahead. Or that you're envisioning a God helping you, chanting to something outside of yourself. When you feel as though you're not changing a situation, get guidance. Another person will be able to identify the block. Now let's look at a few of the ways that we can block ourselves. We block ourselves by viewing the law as being outside of ourselves. And here are some of the things to look for. 1, as you chant, you're envisioning a divine being helping you. 2, you hope or expect other people to rescue you or solve your problem. 3, you blame another person for your problems. Nothing will change till he or she changes in ... ways. 4, you blame the environment. Well, I just can't get a job because of the bad economy. 5, you avoid challenges, preferring the familiar way of doing things. 6, you doubt that you have the Buddha nature and don't believe you have the power to change your situation. 7, you have fears which allow you to be prevented from moving forward. 8, you're not taking responsibility for your life. I guess it's supposed to be this way. It's my fate. And 9, you grumble and complain about other people rather than changing the situation from inside you. The moment we blame a person or something outside of ourselves for our situation, we've stopped connecting with the mystic law embodied within us in our Buddha nature to solve our situation. You've given away your power to change the situation to someone or something else. And you know, it's really easy to fall into this without realizing it because our culture has taught us from childhood that outside circumstances and people can control us. We see people victimized by other people. This level of life is visible and it appears real, although it's really an illusion. Everyone fundamentally has the power to change their circumstances. On the other hand, the mystic law is invisible. We can't see it working behind the scenes, so it's harder to remember we have that power to create our lives from within. So now let's look at the steps of human revolution. And we're going to look at them through a problem that a great many people have. Let's say you don't have enough money. And this has been a constant in your life. There's never quite enough. So what do? Well, first, you set a goal. To change the situation, you first need to be quite clear about what you want. Don't look at what you lack, but what you will have when you achieve your end goal. Don't be vague, just hoping for more money. Vague chanting produces vague or no results. Instead, be quite specific. How much money do you want and by when? Chant for something you can see yourself achieving if you just stretch your vision a little. If you're homeless and chant for $10 million, you're never really going to believe it can happen. Start with 5,000 or whatever you can believe with a small stretch. And when you achieve that, up the ante. Think about it. If you were a beginning mountain climber, you wouldn't try Mount Everest your first climb. In this way, step by step, you will build your faith and your confidence that you can trust the practice. If you aren't clear about what you want, chant for clarity. Secondly, make a determination that you're going to do whatever is necessary to achieve your goal. It's this determination that lays the groundwork for your human revolution. When you make a commitment and follow through, you can transform the habits, beliefs, and characteristics which have been blocking you. Third, get ideas. You're going to get ideas for steps to take, whether during your chanting time or during the day. If you're chanting about a concern, pay attention to anything that comes to you about your interest. You've started a dialogue with the universe and you're going to get a response. Don't second guess yourself and talk yourself out of these ideas. Just remember that when you chant about something, you're tapping into your universal connection, and the answers that you receive are coming from a far deeper wisdom than your everyday mind. Fourth, take action. One of the most important steps. Now, you may have to face all the reasons why you haven't taken action in the past. Here are a few. Perhaps you're undecided, not sure of the right direction, or don't know how your action will be received if you put yourself out there. What if you second guess yourself and wonder if it's the wrong decision? Or you have anxiety or fear, or I can't see how this goal is going to come about. If you're dealing with fear, chant for courage, then challenge yourself and take the action. Until you take action and get some internal feedback, how are you ever going to know whether this direction is the right one for you? You can trust that your heart will tell you when you take the action. Either it's going to feel right or you're going to feel resistance and know this isn't for you. Either way, you will have learned something about yourself through this experiment. If it feels right, trust that quiet inner voice. Your inner higher self knows what's right for you. When you start to move forward, the universe creates the connections you need to achieve your goal. So just don't even worry about not knowing how it's going to work out. No one knows when they begin. The path will unfold under your feet. You'll see to a corner, but not beyond. And when you arrive at that corner, you'll see further. As you go through this process over and over with ever bigger and more challenging goals, you do your human revolution, developing your inner strength and your character, and come to understand how to create your life as you want it. In summary, in today's vlog, we defined human revolution and then discussed the steps to accomplishing it. We examined how you can get off track and then used a common experience to discuss the steps to accomplishing your human revolution. Here are some other related vlogs that you really might like. Is there any right way to chant? Difficult problem. 5 steps to nailing it. 7 ways we block ourselves when chanting for a goal. Now, as always, I want to hear from you. Thank you so much for those of you who've made comments or for suggestions for topics. Just want you to know I'm doing my best to work them into the vlogs. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.